Easter weekend, doing a little on-air live stream from the Alchemy broadcast live, featuring Bert and Ernie and a little bit of Oscar there, some alchemy, some video editing. Shout out Jeremy Reese, Eric Hecker, editing some video clips from them. Shout out Jason Burmass, doing some editing there. Been uploading to OdySee. Been uploading videos to Rumble. It's all over the place. So much work. Never enough time in the day. But hey, that's okay. It's Good Friday. So, I'm going to start out with showing some Ormus monoatomics that poured the ionic water out for the purpose of rinsing out the salts and other impurities, because I will then be drying this white Ormus powders, the different metals, for new experiments, as well as shipping out for some testing in the labs. You can see using distilled water for the rinse. Please hit that like button, everybody. If you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe. And if you can spare $1 or $2, feel free to donate. Alright, so you can see how the monoatomics mix back up. This stuff fluffier, pure monoatomic, where this has different nanoparticles, different probably ion, as well as different oxides as well, and still solid structure. Lots of different meta materials within. No, I would not recommend drinking any of this. This would absolutely probably kill you. This one is a mixture of aluminum and titanium. This one is zinc and silver, as well as titanium. And this one potentially, once flushed and properly done, and that is just zinc and pure silver. Yeah, don't go there, Anthony. It's funny how some people's minds automatically jump to such things, but hey, I guess some occultists and alchemists do call it, we won't even get into it, mana. So here, this one, you can see the little exclusion zone now at top as the pure fluff white monoatomic settles. This one, you can see the base, this here being different compounds and colloidals and nanomaterials, as well as Ormus, and then the pure Ormus coming down, settling at the top. This one, nanomaterials with the Ormus settling. We will Put the lids back on. Come back to these guys in a minute. If I can find. Oh, there we go. Now, to the title. I got me some treasure from some construction workers' trash, and boy, oh boy, I'm excited. Everything an electrochemist could need, as well as coil winder. We got ridiculous titanium wires and copper. Look at the length of that right there. And a bunch of wrapped copper, a bunch of iron wires. We got some tubes. And we got a bunch of free salt because, well, snow removal, once it clumps up, not useful to them, but super useful to me for the reactions. And then we sadly, actually, I don't know if it's sadly or beneficially, but I thought it was tungsten from welding, but it turns out to be carbon. So, not going to be trying to replicate my tungsten into gold experiments quite yet, but possibly even better. With the carbon comes the ability in electrodes to mass produce, accumulate deuterium and tritium and different hydrogen isotopes, and a lot more on the cold fusion reactions. So that's going to be awesome. So a bunch of that, copper and titanium wires. So we're going to do some electrodes that right there we got the carbon center and then titanium wire as well as copper wire on it. Now here you do something interesting like pure silver and some copper to copper and some titanium to titanium, and essentially it's going to be making these little saltwater hydrogen power reactors, batteries, and it's essentially a version and replication advancement of the Keshi style GANS reactors. Then we're going to be doing some experiments with red state titanium and blue state titanium, as well as the white state in there. Yeah. Let's see if... Alright. Hopefully you can still hear me, but I think that worked out. Start a little experiment there. Got the salt. Got plastic vessel because, well, then it's usually I use glass for inside and summer, but all season you gotta use the plastic container. Now Bernie's inventions, engineering, and experiments here, and the reactors, whether they're hydrogen electrolysis, monatomic metamaterial production, or energy saltwater battery, uh, everything here is very easily and cheaply reproduced and replicated on a very mass scale. Once I fully publish the third generation of my devices that do the all of them together, and can actually power your car with water and what you see here and some salt. But that, well, we don't really talk about that or show too much of that until it's all in one and everyone can do it at once, so Bernie doesn't disappear and die like Stanley Meyer. R.I.P. Shout out to the man, Stanley Meyer. Let's see. All right, how to make coils, how to wind electrodes for the basics. Drill. And we're going to add some titanium, some copper. Oh, okay, this one's going clockwise, I guess. Usually I do counterclockwise. I guess I'll do both of the electrodes for the specific test to run demo in the clockwise position. I point this out because it's extremely important when electrical magnetic engineering from electroculture to plasma coils to geometry coils to actually getting these sorts of systems to work and understanding them, as well as your position in what hemisphere in your exposure to Earth's magnetic fields. Okay, we got one there. Got a separator. You know what? Shout out to Wendy. We're gonna do it longer. More full reaction. I wish I could say sponsored by Dave Thomas's former creation of Wendy's Corp, but no, had to pay for it, but am recycling, reusing the Wendy's cups. Alright. So we're gonna put this old electrode wire connector through this portion of the said lid. Keep them separated. 90s rock guy. Well, we've got second electrode. opposite sides not touching or connecting with one another, thus avoiding shorting out the reaction. This one positive. Okay, the anode. And make this one the cathode. AKA the negative. All I'm using here, simple 5-volt AC power supply. Literally just cut off the end of a USB phone charger, connecting the ends into this cup. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Doesn't explode. Oh god. Oh no. It's the greatest experiment ever. No, we failed. We pulled the connection off. And just to make sure that there is connection, use some clamps. Gotta clamp it. Name's Clamps. Got any clamping to do? Shut up, clamp on. Clamps. Doing anything? Is it doing anything? Sorry. No, it's not, because stupid thing connected. There we go. The charges pull each other, they attract. So you have to be careful or they'll just suck into each other and then short out the reaction because they're connected once they touch. Okay. Let's take a look-see. That's what's going on with these guys. So now you can see that one is settled, and that's solid. Solid powder settling. That is the pure monoatomic. Here you can now see there's about an inch of that pure monoatomic on top of the colloidal nanomaterial. And on this one, you can see there's maybe a millimeter of the pure monoatomic on top of the nanomaterials. So there is a lot of different materials that I make within the different reactions, all of them potentially being different meta-state materials, including quasicrystals and plasmids and plasmas and quantum materials. Here we got the purple, pure purple state. That was silver that went purple. That one's gold that went purple. So this one used to be blue, oxidized, and it's turned black, as has this one. more of the pure Ormus, or monoatomic. You can see just how fluffy it is. Let's get us a light to illuminate the situation and see what we have going on. Nano-coated reactions wires, different layers of floaty Ormus. Some of that red and pink state, the reactive, active. Enron crimes. 9/11 needs to be reinvestigated. We need 9/11 disclosure. And we need Antarctic disclosure. We need UAP disclosure. We need Epstein disclosure. I say Epstein not because of misspelling. It's because of my disdain for that rapist goof. Anywho, enough of that. Shout out to real whistleblower Eric Hecker. And so much editing. The amount of time I spend to make videos. Insane. But it's okay. I've actually been tracking, monitoring closely, spending ridiculous amounts of time the past few days since originally discovering live the thousands of views generated just in like 20 minutes when I publish videos that then get exponentially chopped down and disappeared. And as time goes on, instead of more people watching the videos, which we know is happening, in fact, the views keep officially decreasing. And I've been documenting more and more evidence of it. And it's actually quite uplifting to know that I'm really actually generating over tens of thousands of views on my own YouTube channels alone daily, yet alone the even larger views on the large channels that I publish on, that they're also suffering the same thing. And it's evidence that can, and then potentially, hopefully Google don't kill me, them motherfuckers need class action. It's insane. Literally used to be making $2,000 a month off of YouTube revenue from views and advertising when I first started 3 years ago. And it's all the way down to $100 a month. That's 95% they're stealing and scamming. And I've watched and documented it over the last 3 years. Each time they do a new trick, delete views, hide views, but still generate the views so they can show them in certain algorithms for like advertisers, but then not show them to the community and the content creators unless you actually pay for the advertising. Then they actually expose the full amount. It's quite a wild conspiracy that I have documented of this, or criminal conspiracy I've been documenting of how they're robbing, stealing, and lying and cheating to all of their content creators, aka employees, aka what gives value to their platform and service, the content itself. But I'm just rambling on about it. At this point, The point of all of that, if anyone wishes to donate on this Easter, Good Friday, help support the research and work for Free Energy Friday to continue. And there's actually so much more to what's going on. You see that white cloud plasmid in there. Zero electricity, but biochemical electrical plasma. And no, don't let your mind go to thinking that I frickin' spunked to make a homunculus. No, this is just blood alchemy. That I had some blood that I put in a few drops with the salt water, the silver, and titanium wire. That is all. No electricity whatsoever. It's still self acting reaction uh, electrolysis of a decent amount of hydrogen coming off of the silver coins. If you can see some bubbles, that's the smaller ones. Anyways, I don't know if it's actually capturing it. There's a constant flow of bubbles coming off of it, but it's like the atomic hydrogen that is very tiny. It's like monoatomic hydrogen, basically, that isn't caught by this camera too easily. Anyways, also there was aerogel on top, and that it produces off of the blood, bonding with the hydrogen, the silver, and titanium, making the biochemical monoatomic biogel or aerogel right there that I've harvested as a sample. And Keshi claims and states, and it's also documented, that a Nazi scientist did this before World War II started, of this DNA replicating, not DNA, mRNA or amino acids, your nanostructures, your cellular nano material, I guess your biochemical ormus, essentially. But, oh yes, Anthony, and the whole point of this, and what was taught by Keshi, is that you then take this nano field material and you nano coat your coils in it, and then when you power your coils, yeah, well, see, this one is sealed, and yeah, that's why I haven't sent anything off to labs yet, because I know, and there's I leave that kind of open for the open, that then people can claim it's debunked or whatever the heck, until I actually find a couple of. I'm almost at the spot of. We'll just say when I'm making samples to send to labs, it is under lab conditions that I make them, and that the sloppiness for everything else, it's because it doesn't really make a difference in the overall reactions when I'm doing new experiments, as well as, yeah, that deniability, it's all contaminated and it can be debunked. Sort of thing. But, hey, you gotta play it safe when I might have sample. No, can't even say. No, don't want to get rated because you might have accidentally produced stuff that can be, well, it's worth, very useful, very useful. Anywho, got sidetracked, forgot the light. For national security, international security reasons, there's specific isotopes. You might have accidentally stumbled across specific patterns, easily replicating. I don't know. There we can see hydrogen coming up pretty steady. Right? Little hydrogen cell lava lamp. Now we can see that there's a large amount of bubbling coming off both the anode and cathode, where the cathode's what's producing hydrogen, and the anode potentially all oxygen, but it gets complicated and there's all sorts of different gases and isotopes and compounds actually coming off all of those. But for the sake of Bernie not getting disappeared anytime soon, I'm not going to elaborate. But those that know what I'm talking about know. And that those that know would know that I would know to be developing easy systems of catching and utilizing, separating and harvesting each of those different independent isotope gases and elements and particles that are coming off of each of these reactions. And that is where you get your third, fourth, fifth generational technologies and, I guess, generational technology that, when easily and cheaply mass produced, everyone can very easily and cheaply convert their vehicles into, a minimum 50-50 hybrid water, gas, or diesel car. And that's just lowballing. But we won't get too much further into that. I also got a couple of, one's dead, one's half good, excavator John Deere lead batteries to start playing around with some more stuff. And we're going to start doing actual documenting, showing higher level circuits and system and reactor designs and processes and technologies that I've been developing, working on over the last couple decades, but haven't really talked about publicly for specific reasons. But start doing that this summer, so people can start replicating the different demonstrations of proofs of concepts and systems and working reactors and whatnot. All right. There we go. Some people's, most workers trash. Most workers, construction workers trash. And all medists, electrochemists, treasures. And that right there is what can easily be powering the world off of salt and water. And so much more. All right. I think we are gonna call this pure Armis, pure monoatomic, I should say. It's gonna be interesting when we dry it out to powder. Yeah, most don't, but that's okay. It will appear to as magic to most, as what such technologies always have. That's why alchemy is so suppressed. And plasma and monoatomics and hydrogen and cold fusion. Why all of them are so suppressed, as well as coils. Yeah, that's a lot of it. Anyways, on that note, I got to get going. My God, why do you people, the fourth one, sex doll? No, but there is 1 in 20, I guess, that do, and I did have a friend that was like, yo, I'm doing an orgy with makers and midgets and borrowed one of my mannequins, because I do clothing, and I would be vending. But yeah, I think it was the one actually that is outside. And a little bit bruised, scraped up there. There we go. Yeah, it was the pink red one that my friend borrowed for his hooker midget orgy. Apparently that that thing went down with. Anyways, I wasn't there, but that's how we're gonna end it today on this Good Friday Easter weekend. Ta-ta! Stay blessed, y'all.